the relationship that we have with money. Kung a month nakakasave ka ng 50 pesos or 25 pesos or even, 'di ba? Malaking bagay din 'yon. We need to learn to say no even to our family members sometimes. Oh, I want to have an ice cream kasi malapit naman na yung birthday ko. It's my birth month. Girl, antayin mo yung birthday mo para sabihin mong mag-ice cream ka. Doon mo na lang gastusin. Hindi yung gagastos ka ngayon for an ice cream and then sa birthday mo gagastos ka ulit ng ice cream mo. Delay gratification siya. In this season of everything is rising talaga, no? Gas, expenses. We need to think of a different avenue, streams of income. Kasi ang nangyayari, napansin ko, observe ko, sa Philippine culture is that halo-halo yung pere, 'di ba? Parang etong perang nandito sa bangko na to, ito lahat, emergency funds, savings, investing, lahat na to. Hindi ganon. Because dapat naman talaga hindi mo pinagsasama-sama ang mga pera, dai. This is a conversation, a real talk conversation that I'm having with everyone and I hope you were able to learn somehow. Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube podcast channel, Gem with Gems. So for today's episode, we'll be discussing one of the topics na hindi masyadong popular or pinag-uusapan, especially in the culture of, Philippines, Philippine culture, ganyan. I don't know, it feels like when you bring up these topics to anyone, the relationship that we have with money, because we all know that here in the Philippines, we don't really talk about that. Also, another topic that I could think of is, aside from finances, is sex. Aside from that, some people don't really talk about marriages or those topics that sometimes we tend not to talk about, but it's really beneficial and helpful for us as we grow and as we move to the next stage of our lives, right? One of the things lang that I've heard many times when I was studying is mag-aral kang mabuti so that you'll earn decent amount of money, and once you get promoted, magra-rank up ka and madadagdagan yung sahod mo. 'Di ba? Those are some of the things that we heard back then, that you need to study harder para magkaroon ka ng magandang future, maging successful ka, ganyan. But we were not really taught on how to have proper understanding and relationship with the money. And I'm one of those people growing up. All I thought was, be an employee, get a job. And once you have your job, stable job, you're gonna be successful, wealthy. But in the quadrant of money pala, it's just one of those four quadrant. What am I talking about? The quadrant of money, right? One, you become an employee. Yes, you earn money. That's how you earn money. Number two is, if you have enough fund already, you build your own business and you hire people for the business to work. And the people will work so that you have a quota, 'di ba, for them to achieve, and then in return, of course, once you pay them, they also give you like the ROI of what you're paying them. Number three is either you have your own business, which means I almost forgot the term. Limit, parang ganon, a self business, and then the last is like the fourth one is the investment. So, 'di ba, at least isa lang sana doon meron tayo. Akala natin isa lang dapat. Yun pala, you should have, ayun, self-employee, yung third one. So, going back as what I'm saying, no, we're not just, ano pala dapat, we're not just an employee. We should even try to build something. Like, if you cannot, because business also is not for everyone. Um, Even yung what do you call this? Yung being self-employed, meaning you're the only person in the company you created. Kasi sa business, di ba, you have a system in place. Self-employed is you doing all the work. If you cannot do that, then at least try the last quadrant, the fourth quadrant, which is investing your money or putting your money in a high yield savings, right? I believe most of the Filipino also are not that poor, especially you look around, go to the mall, punta kayo sa parking, laging walang parking. What does it implies? People now have a lot of money to buy their car, right? And that's just how it is. That's how I see the generation leveling up, right? The generation that parang same level ko, right? Meaning, it's just that again, maybe the reason behind it is again, we are not just taught properly on how to have that relationship with money, because even in the Bible it says money is not the root cause of evil, it is the love for the money, right? Right now, let's discuss ano ba yung relationship na meron tayo with our money, and what are the things how we can turn that to our favor, right? And basically, we have a lot of leaks. I could say leaks would be the term that I'll be using, because daming leak kung saan napupunta yung pera natin that we are not aware. So awareness is the answer. No, just kidding. I mean, we need to be aware where our money is going. Does the money that we're earning going to other people's pocket? Kaya yung pocket natin is ubos na. Yung money for our pocket is ubos na, right? One example that I have for each and every one of us is subscriptions. Ang daming subscription na kinakagat ng bawat Filipino. Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Spotify, YouTube. Those are just few, and there's a lot more, right? And I think there's no problem with that. The only problem that I see on that is when you're doing a lot of subscription, when that's the leak kasi, ang dami mong subscription, di ba? Parang ganun. If you have a lot of subscription, just make sure that you already have set aside your savings, your emergency fund, your for luxury, for travel, or for whatever it is, for investment, di ba? So, if you already done that, you pay all the bills, and you have this specific amount that is just for subscription, then be it. But if the other way around yung nangyayari is naunang subscription bago savings, bago emergency fund, bago investing, then I think you need to think, pause for a second, because guilty as I am, we have a lot of subscription before, and once you try to figure out things, I'm not being an expert here, because sa mga susunod na example, I'm guilty as well. So what I'm just trying to say is that we need to be aware. You need to ask yourself an honest question. Do I really need this? Or do I really need an emergency fund in case mawalan ako ng trabaho? In case mawalan yung husband ko ng trabaho? 'Di ba? Another example that I could share is eating outside. I raise my hand, my feet in the air, because I'm very guilty on this. It's not bad to eat outside, but there there is a moment in my life that I really want every weekend, not just every weekend, parang every single day, I want to eat outside na lang. Yung reasoning ko dyan before is, wala kasi kaming kasama. Well, totoo naman, wala kaming kasama. So parang, that's how I try to reward myself, or how I frame it. But eventually, I'm seeing like, oh, it's not being helpful to the finances anymore. 'Di ba? Parang dahil dito na napupunta yung other things. So we cut that down, and until now we're trying to, kasi hindi pa naman ganoon ka-perfect. Minsan sumusobra pa din kami ng 600, 1,000 for a month. 'Di ba? Kahit papaano sayang din yun, kasi kung yung 600 na yun nilagay mo na lang sa savings mo, sa emergency, sa investment nyo, laking tulong yun. May meron kang at least how much, more or less than 12K a month, kung ganun nga, 'di ba? Those are okay once everything in the pie is taken care of. Pero pag hindi, we need to pause, we need to tighten up our belt. Okay? And another leak, eto, sobra 100%, andito pa din, andito ako. I am aware that I have a lot of leaks sa Shopee, Lazada, or any online platform, TikTok, Shop, Shane man yan, or what. 'Di ba? Kahit sabihin mong 50 pesos lang naman to, 25 pesos, kung a month nakaka-save ka ng 50 pesos or 25 pesos, or even, 'di ba? Malaking bagay din 'yon. Kasi minsan, 'di ba, bibili tayo kasi ang cute lang, nakita lang natin sa Instagram or nakita lang natin sa Facebook or sa TikTok na ginagamit nila ni ganto, ni ganyan. Tapos ending din naman natin nagagamit, nakatambay lang, nakakalat lang sa bahay. So, the question again there is, why are we purchasing this? You go back to your goal, you go back to the purpose. What's the main purpose of this? 'Di ba? Is it worth it ba? 'Di ba, at ending minsan itatapon mo pa kasi hindi naman walang nangyari, 'di ba? So, kidding aside, those are the things that I believe are some of the things that leakage ng pera natin kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng somehow nasa-shorten yung pera na nasi-save natin or dapat na meron tayo. It will be a different conversation again if you're a breadwinner, or but if you're not, and let's say again you're with your parents, you're earning decent amount of money, and still all of your money is going to all those leaks. Another leak that I can see right now, maybe you don't realize it yet, so let me try to help you realize it. Maybe some I will sound rude, but this is the things that I've learned as years go by. We need to learn to say no, even to our family members sometimes. The family, like, if we have obligation, then that's a different story again, right? But, if constantly they're asking for money and it's draining you, which should not be, right? Because you cannot build your own pocket if you're constantly pouring out to all people asking for it. That's why there's also a rule in my life and even to our family that hindi kami nagpapahiram na. Or if someone's asking for money, we just give not everything that they ask, but a simple portion of it. Or also, not just that, even yung mga small gatherings, small birthday, monthly celebration, those are draining us. I'm not against it. I'm actually celebrating those months. But if for some reason you don't have the finances for that specific month, then be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, it will just stress you. It will not just stress your pocket, but it will also stress you mentally, emotionally. Kasi nagastos mo yung pera imbes na pinangbayad mo ng bills, 'di ba? So, I mean, be transparent to your family members na as of the moment, wala kaming budget dyan. So, it's okay. Try to say it in respectful way as you can, that they could understand, right? And there are a lot of leakage that I could think of, but those are like the examples that I want to share to everyone, and I think every one of us can relate. Sometimes it's not really a money problem, but it's like the lifestyle problem that also everyone try to portray. You want to portray that you're this person, you're earning specific amount of money, and you want to flash that to everyone. Diba? At the end of the day, why are you doing that? Are you doing that for yourself, or are you doing that to get an attention? So, going back again, everything that you do should have a purpose and a goal. As what I mentioned earlier, awareness is very important, because once we know that, okay, I'm aware that parang malaki-laki na nagagastos ko sa Shopee, nagsha-Shopee Pay na ako kahit na wala pa yung sahod ko, 'di ba? So, once we become aware of that, we need also to take action. We need to learn how to execute things, because in life, if we don't know how to execute things, it's just a theory, it's just a hypothesis in the air. So, one of the things that I want you to remember, that after you become aware, right? How are you going to be aware with your money? Number one is you need to track your money. Number two is delay some of the delay gratification or delay pleasure right? And thirdly is increase your income intentionally. So let's go to that one at a time. When I say track your money, try to track your expenses just for today. And I know it's hard because you will say, oh my gosh, ang dami ko palang nagastos. Parang nakakalula pala yung mga nagawa mo or nagastos mo for that day lang. Just try to practice it. If you're a techie, use an app. If you're still on a traditional or tradition way, then log it in a paper, log it in a, or log it in an Excel kung ayaw mo ng app. When I was in, just to share with you guys, when I was like even elementary pa lang, naglalag na ako ng mga expenses ko. Kasi nga, I'm aware that my mom is not that, she's the only one who's earning for us. So yung super budgeted ko yung expenses ko. So matetestify to ng mga friends ko na they know that every money that goes out, I log it either sa phone or sa paper, ganyan. And when I was in high school, of course, ledger yung gamit ko. Until na high school, pero nung nag-college, nag-excel na ako. Nilalag ko doon ni stick kung binili ko ni Yaki, ni Yakult, whatever it is. And when I transition into earning money, I use still an Excel. But now that we're married, what we're using is an application. And the only challenge for me, I think, right now as we track our money is that the two of us are tracking it. So, of course, may isang gumagamit ng pera at ako. Dati kasi controlled ko 'di ba? Yun yung parang kagandahan pag single ka. You control the money. But now, we have other expenses that kailangan nating bantayan. Yung pinangbili ng ganto for the kid, yung pinangbili ni ganto for the other family members, sa grocery, and etc. na bumili na pala. 'Di ba? So, those are the things that we need to track. Another thing that we need to do is to make sure, look at the circle, look at the pie, saan napupunta, saan pinaka napupunta yung money nyo. And you take actions kung kailangan nyo siyang i-trim down, kung kayang i-trim down yung grocery, i-trim down. That's why dyan papasok yung number 2, parang delay gratification siya. You delay some of the pleasure that you like. Oh, I want to have an ice cream kasi malapit naman na yung birthday ko. It's my birth month. Girl, antayin mo yung birthday mo para sabihin mong mag-ice cream ka. Doon mo na lang gastusin. Hindi yung gagastos ka ngayon for an ice cream and then sa birthday mo gagastos ka ulit ng ice cream mo. No, just kidding. So, I mean, you delay those small, what they call this small pleasures that you like to, because sometimes it's just your emotion that also that you need to control. Parang, uy, ang ganda nung damit nakita ko sa TikTok, check out na, ganyan. Hindi mo man lang inantay 3 days bago humupa man lang siguro yung feeling mo dun sa, or emotion mo about that dress or about that clothes, right? And thirdly is, of course, in this season of everything is rising talaga, no? Gas, expenses, we need to think of a different avenue, streams of income. If you are now an employee, try to invest in a different platform. There's a lot of platform and a lot of vloggers out there that you can follow. What are they trying to do to increase their money, right? Or even just you saving 50 pesos a month. It's if that's what you can, or 100 or 1,000 a month. That would really be a big amount of money already. Especially if sa isang taon mo siya titignan, diba? 1,000 a month is 12K. As simple as that. And that's like my challenge for every one of us right now. If we're earning, it's not just a question of or telling other people na, oh, I'm earning this amount of money. I'm earning 1 million a month. The question should be that you should be asking yourself is how much is retaining to your savings, to your investing, magkano yung natitira sa'yo? Baka yung 1 million na kinikita mo, wala kang kinikita doon. So, wala din. 'Di ba? At the end of the day, zero pa din yung network mo. So, yeah, you need to be aware of it. You need to put, kasi ang nangyayari dito, ang nangyayari, napansin ko, observe ko, sa Philippine culture is that halo-halo yung pere, 'di ba? Parang etong perang nandito sa bangko na to, ito lahat, emergency funds, savings, investing, lahat na to. Hindi ganon. there's a dedicated amount for each and everyone. Diba? If this bank is for your savings, this is where your income is, dyan napupunta yung sahod mo sa Bank One, dapat mag-open ka ng isang account para hindi mo nagagalaw. Doon mo ilalagay yung savings mo or mag-open ka pa ng isang account for emergency. Ihiwalay nyo. I think makaka-relate dito yung mga accounting student because dapat naman talaga hindi mo pinagsasama-sama ang mga pera. Dahil, mga bookkeeper, diba? And even if you're not bookkeeper, if it's just simple, 'di ba? Pag nagsusulat kayo, iba-iba naman yung ginagamit yung color. Red for notation, black is for the general, like whatever the teacher is saying, you circle it if that's something important, 'di ba? You the square on the word or you put it with color red for you to notice na pag blue, ito yung sabi ni God. Pag red, ito yung ayaw ni God. 'Di ba? Simple as that. Ganun din naman yung instruction ng Bible sa atin eh. We segregate things. So again, one of the things that I want you to do, gems, is that you track your expense, try it at least one step at a time. If you cannot remember all the expenses that happened in the past, forget it na. It will be just a lesson, right? And then what you can do is just focus on today, what you can do, track the expenses that you have for today, and then for tomorrow, again, do the same thing. And then from that point on magiging aware ko, ay, ang laki ng nagagastos ko sa merienda. Ay, ang laki ng nagagastos ko sa kape. Ganun. 'Di ba? And, yeah, this is a conversation, a real talk conversation that I'm having with everyone. And I hope you were able to learn somehow. Share it with people who needs to hear this. And if you want more meaningful, purposeful conversation like this, share it with others. Put a thumbs up on it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you everyone and see you on my next vlog. Once we track it down,